getting started and set up here. A whole large pepperoni pizza from Domino's runs anywhere from 2,300 calories to 3,000 calories. It really depends on how much your pizza maker put cheese on top of it, or multiple cheeses, or how many of those discs, those pepperoni discs, that got placed around the top there. Split it between two guys, now we're like 1,200, 1,500 calories roughly. And this is before you even touch a wing or another piece of cheesy bread, which can start to multiply the calories pretty quick. I'd bet you would not have guessed that number within even 500 calories. A lot of people don't realize that's how many calories are in a pizza. Even a cheese pizza can be 2,000. All right. The problem is that you are constantly ordering the go-to pizza that you have that you really enjoy, but there is no consciousness awareness around the actual calorie cost. And by the end of our show today, you'll know exactly what to order at Domino's instead of running the order on autopilot. Welcome back for Driven for Health, episode 151. This is Coach Brian. I hope that you've been enjoying the What to Order series. It's going to keep going on. I will throw a little teaser in next time, ideally tomorrow, is going to be Taco Bell. So there you go. Fourth meal coming at you. Just want to throw that out there. I had gotten prepared a little bit ahead of time for this so that you know. The 150 episode is the 7th stop, and Domino's is honestly, I was kind of shocked here, one of the most searched pizza chains in the country. And the app, guilty as charged, I do have the app, and we do go to Domino's more than any other place. I can get a $6.99 two-topping medium pizza, and that can go pretty far for a family of 6. Meaning we get more than just one, but everyone ends up getting a pizza, and then we end up having some leftovers for the next day, because that does happen on a Friday night or Saturday or a random super busy day. Guilty as charged. We do eat pizza in the house, but we need a pizza strategy, and that's super duper important. And there's so many other reasons how pizza does fall into your lap, in a sense of, even my wife took my 2 younger kids to their pre-orientation groups from school, because it's school starts. My older 2 started today. Levi and Everett are back at high school, and the other 2 are going to start next week. But they had their little pre-meeting, and there's pizza at it. And there's always pizza around. So let's figure it out and make it an actual better situation for you than not. And it's a really easy one, because pizza can go pretty far. It's relatively cheap food to feed a lot of people. Now, pizza isn't off the table here. The crust you pick and what order alongside it can decide how much of the calories and this thing's going to stack up against you or not. Most guys who order have a saved favorite on their app already. I will be honest, my first go-to, if I'm splitting with my wife, we're going to go black box, medium. It's pan roasted, it's handmade in a pan and cooked, and it's delicious. We get pepperoni and bacon when we do, but that's something that we do occasionally, but we end up splitting and usually have about 3 slices. So mediums are not 3,000 calories in a sense, but this one is pretty good. Now, my personal go-to ends up being a thin crust, and jalapeno and some other protein, bacon, chicken, whatnot. I don't really get a lot of chicken, say, on my pizza per se, because I eat a lot of chicken otherwise. And I will just make sure that I hit my protein goals in other ways and keep calories in check in other ways as we go here. And we just, again, need to pump the brakes and make sure that that default order, something that still moves you into the what your goals are. Going through the tiers list again, it seems to be a popular one. I've been getting a bunch of emails about it, and I appreciate the commentary that you guys are giving me. It's very helpful to making sure I keep improving these episodes for you. We're going worst to best because we want to stack the suspense. The number one challenging, probably want to stay away from, is the stuffed cheesy bread. So it's like cheese with bread with cheese in it. Bam. It's an 8-piece order. We're going to go 2 out of 10 on this. One piece is only 150 times 10. We're looking at over 1,000 calories, and the bread and the cheese are the only ingredients really in there. And so it stacks up pretty darn fast, being upwards of 1,000 to 1,200 calories with 56 grams of pizza if you were to eat the whole thing before a single slice. This is probably the worst item on the entire Domino's menu that isn't pizza. Number 2 is the deep dish. So good, but also calorie dense. Why? It's thick. It's got a lot of inches to it in a sense. So pepperoni, 2 slices of deep dish, 3 out of 10. The highest fat of any crust on the menu. It's just, all the other ones aren't even close. One topping sliced runs 350, possibly 400 calories with 15 grams of fat. That is a whopper of a slice in a sense, and not Burger King whopper. We'll get to Burger King at some point, I'm sure, but 15 grams of fat, 2 slices, over 700 calories, 30 grams of fat, and bam, the box is still mostly full of pizza. And this crust gets fried right in the pan on the way to the oven. So it gives that crystallized crunchiness to it. And that's why some of the fat jumps up so much. This crust shows up on the box looking like dinner, and you can eat it like that too. It's just a lot of food if you've ever had deep dish. Now, if I am going to have deep dish, I'm probably not going to Domino's. I'm probably going to go to Chicago. Right? Let's get to Chicago to have the deep dish instead. Next up, the hand tossed pepperoni with 3 slices. This is a default crust of typical normal that you would do. And a large pepperoni pizza is going to run, if you don't get a deal there or a coupon, they have them in the app. I know because I use it. $14. 250 calories roughly a slice, 8 grams of fat. 3 slices put you at 750 calories, 30 grams of protein, which is a lot better than what the deep dish is going to cause, because that is just so high in fat and calories in a sense. This will add up because most guys will just have this as the main strategy for the meal, and it just adds and adds and adds. Number 4 is the hot buffalo wings, an 8-piece order. Let's rank this about 5 out of 10. 4 wings alone can have 1,500 milligrams of sodium, and 2,000 is our recommended amount. We have 8. We start to add up a lot of calories, and even more so the sodium. That's 3,000 milligrams of sodium. Just for simple math, I like to say a wing is about 100 calories. They technically can be a little bit less, but with the sauce or breading and such, just it makes it really easy to understand how fast the calories are. So if you have a dozen wings, 1,200 calories. Really simple that way. All right. Number 5, the New York style pepperoni. Right? These are the big slice. They have a lighter crust with the really big, thick triangles, or wide, I should say, not thick, wide. triangles. 3 slices runs about 600 calories. We're looking about 200-ish calories per slice. Most slices, unless they're thin cut, like the thin crust, are going to have 200, 300, possibly more calories in a slice. That's just how it goes. These will have about 21 grams of protein for the 3 slices, 16 grams of fat. Still a lot of fat for that option, obviously, because of the cheese. And that's where a lot of the protein comes from as well. Next up, boneless chicken wings, 6-piece, 7 out of 10, 340 calories for the 6 pieces. So what is that? Quick math. That is about 50 to 60, about 55, 60 calories per slice. So you're getting more. You want to be conscious of these. With the boneless chicken, they have the breading on them. Same with the wings, could have some breading on them. If that is the case, it's going to have more carb calories and more fat calories in it because the breading on the wing will hold in more oil and ultimately more calories. So this can be a decent protein source for you at 18 grams of protein, but it still has 14 grams of fat because of the way they cook it. They're not necessarily baking it. They are going to be frying it in a sense. So, and that's how it was pre-made when it came to the thing. So then they heat it up in the oven. Now, this is one of the items under the mix and match deal. It's like have 2 or more off of this menu. That's where the medium two topping pizza comes, and that I get, and that's $6.99. So you have to get 2 or more of those things, and this ends up being a potential calorie thing to have with a little bit more protein in it. But to be honest, I would prefer to eat my protein at other times of the day and pass on the boneless wings. Thin crust is coming in at 7, 3 slices. Again, it's an 8 out of 10. This is the smallest, lightest amount of crust as a base on the whole menu, which is good. So 3 slices can run you up to about 400 calories. So we're now at about 125-ish, 130 calories as an example. 12 grams of protein, and there could be a lot of fat on the pepperoni one because it has pepperoni. You could obviously skip that, but if it had pepperoni, it could have upwards of 20 grams of fat in those 3 slices because pepperoni is a fatty meat. If we lower the calories, then almost everything else drops, meaning if we take the pepperoni off and put on a vegetable in a sense, or pineapple. I could do pineapple and jalapeno instead. That could be a really good one, and just have protein on the side. That works for me. Number 8, the chicken Caesar salad. We're getting into something that's not a pizza, and this ends up being a winner. 220 calories, 19 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat. And a lot of that could be coming from the dressing that you want to make sure that you keep on the side. This menu's item is roughly about $7.50 roughly, and can be some of the best protein that you'll get on the menu as well. There's the list. I'm going to go with if I'm personally doing this or would recommend a client, this is the only thing they were going to eat, the chicken Caesar salad dressed on the side with 2 or 3 slices of pizza is going to be a win. Getting the crunchy thin crust on the mix and match medium at $69.99 is going to be a really good option for you. Do we need pepperoni? Pepperoni is a classic pizza topping, but we don't really need to do that. And you can save some of it and reheat it in an air fryer the next day, for example, or in the oven to get it crispy again. And that'd be the win. Something interesting on just the company, I like to share a little bit about it. And back in 2000s, Domino's stock had fallen from over $30 a share to $3. And Brand Keys surveyed ranked them last among the national pizza chain for taste. A lot of them, Domino's came to fame for their speed of delivery, but their food just didn't taste good. The biggest complaint is that it tasted like cardboard. The sauce tasted like ketchup, and the cheese tasted fake. So they were skimping on the actual ingredients. In 2009, Domino's rebuilt the whole menu from scratch, new crust, new sauce, new cheese. They ran ads that showing the real negative feedback before showing off the new pizza. And this is important if you ever get a challenge and you just admit to it and say, hey, we're going to do better. There comes a time when you know you got to make a change. And if people are literally saying that your pizza tastes like cardboard, we need to change it. So revenue grew in that first year and then had a huge jump as in the last decade. So they are more on the track to where they are. And they've been finally in 2021, Domino's grew from about 9,000 to 17,000 locations. It's one of the world's largest pizza chains by 2017. I like Domino's. The whole environment looks somewhat fun in there. The boxes are always fun and silly. I grew up on Yo-Noid as well. And so very interesting because they did double down on their quality and it tastes better. I mean, if you're listening to this, it's because you like pizza, obviously. And you're going to eat pizza in your life. So we just have to figure it out. So as soon as the company admitted that they had the food was just bad and then they just fixed it, then people responded really, really well. Coming into just the standard about pizza, the thicker the crust, the more calories, the more toppings, the more calories, the more fattier meat on there, the more calories. Cheese, stuffed crust, more calories. You get the just larger slices, more calories. Just have to pay attention to it and just look up what your pizza that you order costs calorie wise, and that will help save it. All right, fast five. Let's jump in. Why does thin crust matter? A cheese slice of thin crust can run about 100 calories. That's the same crust of the deep dish can run over 300. So it's like 3 times more for what is there. Number 2, does the mix and match deal save money? $6.99 an item when you order 2 or more. It covers 2 medium pizzas, cheesy bread, which we want to pass, a boneless chicken, bread twist, tuna in a pasta in a tin, and a cookie brownie. So some of those things probably not going to do it, but the boneless chicken and a medium pizza could make for a interesting, fun evening that you can just portion control and fit into your day without overdoing it. Number 3, what's the real story behind the pizza turnaround ad? Well, Domino's put its customers first and they shared the challenges that they were facing and they made changes. And that's really the best way to go about anything in life. To submit to it, own up and change and make sure things get better. Number 4, there's a real low carb move is there a real low carb move at Domino's? Yes, the chicken Caesar salad would be that low carb move for you to eat. Number 5, how many Domino's locations is a silly one? There's over 22,000 now, and 7,000 are in the US. So there are a lot abroad as well. Hope this fast 5 were helpful for you. Closing out, you will always have a pizza night. Pizza's not going anywhere. If you're in any culture, people love bread. They love cheese. They love the combination of bread with cheese on it. So we have to just find that out. Inside my Eating on the Go guide, that's at go.brianparana.com/eating on the go. You can find that there. And just the same with the other episodes that we've done. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Subway. If you want an actual system and a process to manage how you literally can change the way you think about eating at a restaurant, then that's the call to rise. It's my 100-day fat loss challenge for men. And we focus on 5 pillars. 1 is the call. It's your identity of why you're even doing it in the first place. Why is this important to you? Number 2 is the forge. It's the exercise, build muscle, burn fat. Three is the fuel. This is eating the right foods at the right times in the right amounts. Heavy, heavy amounts of nutrition conversation goes on in my program to educate you so that you make right decisions. Even from this podcast, there's a heavy amount of food conversation. Number four is the code, the mindset of how you think and feel and act in certain situations to and decide things and choices that you make in the day. And we have to change those through behavior change, habits, routines, and all that. Then last is the brotherhood. These guys are high flyers. They are in the trenches with work, providing fathers, their husbands. They are working hard in their everyday life and they don't have their health together and they don't have a strong support system around their health. And this can be a game changer. Multiple guys didn't realize that this key factor was a huge component that they were missing once they got it behind the scenes and started doing the work and seeing other guys were doing it. It drive them. Literally, I just got off the round table last week. The guys challenged us, everyone that was on the call, hey, let's do let's avoid one thing that might come up this week for you. So it's not Lent. It's not, it was just one item. It wasn't restrictive or anything. I picked I didn't pick cookies, period. We had two guys pick some candy. We had some others pick some sugary drinks. And there's a couple other things that picked. All the guys stepped up and did not have those. I even had my daughter, Emmeline, she made them. And man, I had to pass because I said I wouldn't do it to the guys, or everyone was going to do 5 minute squat hold, which was going to be a lot. All right, that's wrapping it up. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Next up, we're going to be headed to the Taco Bell and going through the fourth meal. That actually came back out of 2006 when the fourth meal was a big thing and presented. So I remember that. So I always joke about the fourth meal. But the fourth meal can actually be really costly if whatever you order. So we're going to go over that. That's it for this episode of Driven for Health. If you enjoyed it, pass it on, leave a review, send me an email, and let me know how things are going. I would love to hear. Let's train hard, eat smart, and I'll see you in the next one. Man.